Welcome to QA Automation Hub. So in this video, let's see what is an abstract class in Java. So before that, what is an abstraction? So it is nothing but the process of hiding the implementation details to the user and showing only the functionality. So Java provides two ways to implement this abstraction, and one is abstract class, the other one is interfaces. So first, let's see what is an abstract class. Say for example, this is an abstract class and you have the method prototype alone here. Okay, say for example, you have four functionalities and you are not describing the implementation logic in your parent class. So other child class will not be able to see the implementations in your parent class, so it is hidden. Okay, and you have to specify it with an abstract keyword, and you should not write your code logic, so you are ending it with an semicolon. So here in the abstract class you have four methods, and these four methods, four functionalities will be implemented in each child classes, and they will be writing their own specific logics for this functionalities. Okay, because it will vary between each child classes, it may vary, so they will be writing their own implementations. All right, so each child class will extend this abstract class now, and they will be implementing all these methods, and they will write their own logics inside that. So these implementation which are done in each functionalities will not be visible to each child classes, since it is not been specified in the abstract class, and only the method prototype is given here. Okay, so this is called as an abstract class. Okay, but abstract class also contains concrete methods that we will see it later. Okay, so we can apply the abstract keyword for classes and methods, and it is not applicable for variables and constructors. And a class that is declared with an abstract keyword is known as abstract class. If you do not give the abstract keyword, then it is considered as your normal or concrete class. Okay, and we can allow the child classes to access these abstract methods and other class properties from the abstract class through inheritance. Okay, just using the extend keywords, you can access the abstract methods and other properties from an abstract class. And the abstract class can have abstract methods, which is nothing but the method prototype which I showed you. You have to give the abstract keyword and don't give the logic. You don't want to add the method body, just give a semicolon at the end. Okay, concrete methods are nothing but a normal method. How you create an static or non-static method, that is called as a concrete method. You have to write your code logic. And the last one is for abstract classes will be created, as I said, if you have any specific functionalities needs to be created between each child classes, then you can specify the method prototype, and they can use this method, and they can override that method in the child classes. Okay, and you will not be specifying the implementation in your parent class, so it gives you more safety and security, and that is called as an abstraction also. Okay, and here we have some key points that we need to discuss now regarding the abstract class, that we will see with an good example now. Okay, let me create the abstract class now. It's how we create a normal class similar to that one. To give some name here, I'm just giving it as abstract class. The modifier, I'm setting it as public, and this abstract checkbox, if you select, it will get converted into an abstract class. Okay, and if you click on finish, you can see here the keyword has been set as abstract here. Okay, and if you remove this one, then it will change to a concrete or normal class. Okay, if you want to set it as an abstract, then you have to give this keyword here. Okay, and abstract class contains all variables, any kind of variables like static, instance, or final, and you can set constructors here, and you can create static and non-static methods as well. Along with that, you have to create some abstract methods also. Okay, so that's why abstract class is partially, it gives only partial abstraction. Okay, but interface gives 100% abstraction, but here you cannot achieve 100% abstraction, because there are some methods that are being broadcasted to the other child classes as well. So here you can have the abstract methods as well as concrete methods, and now let's create some variables and methods to show the demo. Okay, all right, so I have created some variables, different kind of variables, just to show how abstract class allows you to create the variables like normal classes. Okay, and we have created some constructors and non-static and static methods and abstract methods as well. So let's take this abstract class is for a Google family. Okay, so we have different subsidiaries, right? So let's create another subclasses like YouTube and Android, and we'll see how we can access this concrete methods as well as the abstract methods from those subclasses. Okay, so here you can see I have a company name. This is an instance variable, and employee count is also an instance variable, and I have a static variable here called founder, and I have assigned the values directly to it, and I have a final variable called CEO, and I have assigned the value here. Okay, for abstract class I have created the constructor. So abstract class allows you to create the constructor, so that doesn't have any problem. So all these things are related to a normal class. You don't see any difference with abstract and normal class. Okay, and here I'm giving assigning two values, company name and employee count, inside the constructor. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm creating a parameterized constructor, and I'm assigning values for company name and employee count inside the parameterized constructor. And for founder and CEO, I have already assigned the values, and I have set it to static and final. Okay, this is what I have done here. To save time, I have created everything before, and here company info. So this is a non-static method. Okay, just I am calling a print statement here. Company details as followed. It will print the company name, employee count, and CEO details. And this is a non-static method, founder details, and it will take the founder static value here. Okay, it is going to print, and here you can see this is called as an abstract method. As I said, you have to give it as abstract, otherwise it will throw an error. You can see here it is asking you to add a body, change it like a concrete method, or at least change it to as abstract method. Okay, so you have to, I'm giving profit margin calculation and revenue calculation in abstract method prototype, because this will vary between different subsidiaries, right? YouTube will have a separate profit margin calculation, and Android will have a separate profit margin calculation, and YouTube will have a separate revenue calculation. So can differ between the companies, right? So I am creating this as an abstract method, and this as a common method that they can get it from the abstract class, and this they can write their own implementation in their subclasses. Okay, so this is what I have created in the abstract class, and these are some points we will discuss now. Okay, and for the first point, abstract class will be created when each, okay, this we have already discussed. Okay, so when each subclass has a specific functionality, so that one. And if a class has at least one abstract method in it, then the class should be declared as abstract class. Okay, so here we have an abstract method, correct? So we have two abstract methods. So if you are trying to, all right, so you don't have any error, right? Now if you are trying to change this class as a normal class or a concrete class, what happens? See, it has an abstract method. Remove the abstract modifier for this methods and write it as a concrete methods, or set the class as an abstract. So it is pointing you to set this class as an abstract. So this is one important point that you need to know about abstract class. Okay, and the second point is, third point is, we cannot instantiate. Okay, so what happens? So now let me create an object for this abstract class. Okay, so here let me create a object. Okay, even if I give some values, it will not allow. Why? See, I have this is a parameterized constructor, right? We have created it, so we have to give the values inside it. Even then, it is throwing an error. Cannot instantiate the type abstract class, because you cannot create an object for the abstract class, because you have a method that does not have any implementation in it. Okay, if you create an object, then the programmers will try to call this methods, right? It will show program profit margin something, right? It will allow you to access, but there is no implementation inside this one. So if you try to run this Java file, it will throw an error, because it will not allow you to create an object first of all. And here you can see cannot instantiate the abstract class, so you cannot create object for an abstract class. This is one important point that you need to know about abstract class. Okay, and if a child extends abstract class, then it should either implement all. Okay, this will create a child now. Okay, so let's remove this one for now, and let me create two class files. One is for YouTube, and that is not going to be an abstract class. So it's a normal class. Okay, I'm going to create sorry, I'm going to create another class called Android. and there are two subclasses now. Okay, okay, we didn't extend it, so let's extend with the abstract class. Extends abstract class. Okay, so same thing. Let us do it for Android as well. Okay, but see, it is throwing an error. Normally, if you extend a parent class, it will not throw error. But here, okay, it is asking you to add the super constructor. So already we have a constructor here. Okay, so you can see it is behaving like a normal class. Okay, even for a normal parent class, it will ask you to do the same thing, right? So let's do that one. We will add a constructor for both the class. Even then, you can see it throwing an error, and this error is because add unimplemented methods or make type YouTube as abstract. Okay, so since this abstract class parent class has an abstract method, you have to implement this abstract methods. All abstract methods you have to implement. That is the fourth point which I have told. If a child class extends abstract class, then it should implement all abstract class, or we need to change the child class as abstract. Okay, so either you need to change it as an abstract. If you change it, then it will not have any issues. If you're not changing it, then you have to implement the unimplemented methods. See how it created with the override option itself. Okay, now inside this you can write your logic. All right, so now the error has been gone, and here also you can see it implemented the methods from the abstract class, and it gives the at override annotation by default. Okay, I think you guys know about this override annotation. If you have watched my method overriding and overloading polymorphism tutorial, then I have explained this clearly. And now let's give some print statement here. Okay, so now I have created. Okay, so this has been overridden, and we have given the print statement. Okay, so here I'm just giving a simple statement. Method defines the implementation to calculate profit margin for YouTube, and it is for YouTube revenue calculation. And in Android, I have given the same thing. Okay, just we are going to print and see. And this one, don't bother. It is from the inheritance concept. Since we have created a parameterized constructor, it will ask you to create a constructor here. Okay, so this, if you watch the inheritance tutorial, you might be clear with this one, so don't bother about this. This is not relevant to abstraction. Just I'm showing you how abstract also behaves like a normal class. Okay, so these all things are like normal class. Only the abstract related concept is just we are creating this method prototype here, and by extending it we are calling it. Okay, and these are some points which I have mentioned are very important. So now let's try to access. Let's create an object now. Okay, for YouTube itself. YouTube obj equal to new. Okay, and now it will ask you to give the parameters. So let's give it as YouTube comma 1,50,000 something. Okay, and obj dot, let us call the company info details. Obj dot, let's call the location. It is, sorry, founder, right? Founder details. And also we will call the overridden methods, that is nothing but profit margin calculation and obj dot revenue calculation. Okay, see here, you can call it using the abstract class itself, since it is a static method, right? So everything like normal class it is behaving here also. Okay, and we will do the same thing here for Android as well. And let me call all these methods. Okay, so I have done it for Android as well, so I'm calling everything, and I'm calling this profit margin using the Android obj itself. Okay, so let me run this program now, and you can see it, the common functionalities it will take it from the abstract class, and the implementation which are done from the YouTube class it is taking it properly. Okay, method defines implementation for YouTube, profit margin and revenue, and these are coming from the abstract class. Okay, so this implementation are hidden from the other class files now, and if you run it here, going to happen the same thing. Will run the Android overridden method here and revenue for Android. Okay, So that's what they can specify their own implementation. So since it is for a demo, I have given a single simple print statement, but in real time you will have a very big logic here inside each methods, and that will not be visible to the other people's since abstract class is defining only the method name. Just they are mentioning like profit margin calculation, revenue calculation. Okay, but each one will have their own implementation, and that data will be hidden, and that is called as an abstraction. Okay, and abstract class allows you to create variables variables, any kind of variables like a normal concrete class, and you can create the abstract sorry constructor like a normal class, and you can create static and non-static methods also like a normal class. So this is why it is called as an partial abstraction, because we are not hiding everything. Okay, so all these variables can be accessed from here, right? And you cannot create a memory allocation for this abstract class. Okay, that's why it is throwing that exception which we've seen before, but you can create an reference for it. See, I can create a reference. That is not a problem. So if I run this one, it will execute properly, and it will display the output properly. See, from YouTube only it is running, and it is running the methods from the parent class also. All right. So you can create a reference, but you cannot create a memory allocation. What will happen if you create a memory allocation? As I said, the same kind of error it will throw. Cannot instantiate the type abstract class. Okay, and you can make this also as an abstract class. That is not an issue. Make this as an abstract class, then what will happen? You cannot create similarly. See here, cannot instantiate because this is an abstract class, right? So you are not allowed to create an object for this one. So for the child class, mostly if you are creating this also as an abstract class, then from here you have to extend this YouTube here, and you have to create the memory allocation for Android. Okay, if you create a class like an abstract, then you are not allowed to create object. That is one very important point. So let's remove this one now. Okay, already we have one abstract, so that is enough. Okay, and we have some key points, right, that we were able to discuss. So as I said, we can apply only for classes and methods. For variables and constructors, it is not allowed. So if you create like abstract, it will throw an error. Okay, so it will tell remove invalid modifiers. Similarly to constructor also the same thing. And the private access modifier is not allowed since it has to be used in other child classes, right? You should not make it as private. Okay, private is not allowed since it is an inherited. You can make it as protected, and you have to call from here also as protected, otherwise it will throw an error. Okay, okay, so you have changed it as protected, so that is allowed, but private is not allowed. Okay, so that is another key point which you have to remember. And abstract classes can have static instance and final, which I showed an example here itself. I have created company name, employee count as non-static instance variable, founder as static, and CEO as final. So that all are allowed like normal class. And similarly to non-abstract, that is a normal class, we can access constructor of an abstract class from the subclass. So here you can see we are able to access using the super keyword, and we have assigned the value to the parameterized constructor also. Okay, so these concepts I have clearly explained in the inheritance. If you are not aware of it, please watch my inheritance video so that you will have the clear understanding. But just to ensure that it looks like a normal class at few parts, and this alone varies. Okay, and here you can see static attributes and methods of an abstract class. Yeah, we have done that, right? We have called this using class name itself. If you want to call the, see here, founder, this is an static variable, right? You can assign some values here, so you can access anything using the class reference itself. And that is one point. Like concrete, can have final which will force. Okay, you can make this also a final method. If you don't want to keep it as static, you can make it as final, and here you have to, okay, this is not static now, so you cannot call it. And here you have to, you cannot override that method. That is the final behavior, final keyword behavior. Okay, so you can use it as a static like concrete classes. Okay, and next one, since abstract class contains both abstract and concrete methods, Okay, so that we have seen in concrete methods, we are not hiding the implementation to other subclasses. It is being shown, and in abstract methods, we are hiding the implementation, and in each subclasses, they are doing their own implementation. All right. So that is why it is called as an partial abstraction. Okay, because everything is not hidden in this class which we are creating. Say, for example, if you try to change the method name or any return type, or if you are passing any parameter, then immediately your subclasses will throw an error that the overridden methods uh, signatures has been changed. So you can see in all subclasses, if you have 100 subclasses also, it will throw an error and it will maintain some consistency in your abstract methods. Okay. So this is similar to a overriding method. Okay. In that also you will have same behavior, and you cannot do an multiple inheritance. If you try to inherit multiple classes, parent classes, it is not allowed, similar to inheritance. Okay, but you can achieve it through interfaces. So that's it, and I think we have seen everything. So since you don't have any implementation, you cannot create or instantiate abstract class. You cannot create objects for this abstract class, and the remaining things we will see after